Welcome back to another episode of Sticky Infusion Experiment. Today I wanted to figure out if I could do some kind of Asian dish. So I came up with stir fry. If I could infuse stir fry, and how good would that turn out? Let's find out.
One thing that I forgot to pick up yesterday.
Something I'll have to get.
I'm getting hungry.
I'm working on lunch right now.
I know.
All right, for this dish, it takes two parts. One, we went ahead and prepped all the veggies. We've got the onions, the bell pepper, we've got snow peas, carrot, mushroom, broccoli, and I've got meat seasoning. Took a couple of petite Angus steaks, cut them up into small chunk-sized pieces, went ahead and added some infused salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, and infused olive oil, and then a little bit of soy sauce as well. Mix that all together and let that sit for about 15 minutes or so. Let all that soak in. And then for the sauce that we're going to be using today, we got beef broth, we've got rice vinegar, we've got smoked sesame seed oil, garlic, ginger, infused sugar, cornstarch, and soy sauce. So let's go ahead and get this going. We're going to start and make the sauce first so that it's ready, because once you start cooking the veggies, if you do it in the order that I'm doing it, and I'll explain why I chose this order when we start to cook, but it's going to go relatively fast. So this will be a really quick cook. It's easy to make and delicious. So here we go. Let's make the sauce. For the sauce, we're going to keep it really simple. We're just going to go ahead and add in the beef broth. You can use chicken or vegetable, whatever you prefer. Since I'm using steak in this, I figure I'll use the beef broth. Then we're going to go ahead and add in the soy sauce, the smoked sesame, the vinegar, the sugar. It's 3 tablespoons. 1 tablespoon ginger, a little over half, 1 teaspoon, a little over a teaspoon of garlic. That was a half a teaspoon of smoked sesame seed oil, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of sugar, a half a cup of beef broth, and then a little over a teaspoon of garlic, minced garlic, and a teaspoon of ginger, and then we got 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. So before we add the cornstarch in there, we're just going to mix this up, make sure it mixes real well. And then we're going to add our cornstarch. Want to make sure we get that cornstarch all dissolved in there. And there we go. Our sauce is ready. And then when we get ready to actually cook it, we'll come back and we'll stir it again, making sure we get everything in it all mixed up and ready to go. So let's move on to cooking the veggies, or actually making the stir fry. So we're going to start off by getting our pan on medium-high heat. While it's on medium-high heat, we're going to put in our infused olive oil. And we're going to bring this to where the oil is starting to simmer because we need it hot in order to do this dish correctly. Now the order in which we're going to be frying the vegetables and adding them into the stir fry is we want to go from the ones that have the most water and thickest or hardest to cook or take the longest to cook to the lower ones. So the first thing that we're going to be cooking is the bell pepper along with the mushroom and the meat. Those will be the first things we start off on. As that starts to cook and it starts to get to where it needs to be, we'll then go in and add the snow peas, the carrots, and we'll let that cook a little bit longer until we know everything is nice and solid cooked. And then we'll add in the broccoli because it only takes a little bit. We still want some crunch in there, but to still be full of vitamins. And once the snow peas, broccoli, all of that's together, then we'll go ahead and start adding the sauce. You'll see that happen. You'll see that thicken up. And then we will go ahead and plate it. All right, once you have your olive oil hot to the point of sizzling, we're going to go ahead and add in the bell pepper and the meat. You can use any color bell pepper you want. I chose red for this dish. Now we're going to add the snow peas. And I chop these up just to make it easier to eat. You know, those big old snow peas. Now. See, we got that juice still in there. It's perfect. We want that. We want to make sure we get everything coated in it, because that's our infusion. We're going to add in the carrots. We're starting to get that water out of those veggies. We're adding our broccoli now. She's gonna love this birthday, love this birthday, love this birthday. Oh my God, so good. Ow, that hot. We're looking real good. All right, time to start with our sauce. And we'll bring that back up to a simmer. We'll let it simmer and kind of cook down and start thickening on that sauce. Remember, the sauce also has infused sugar in it. So not only has the sauce got infusion in it, but so does the meat and the stir fry itself. I used infused olive oil on that and infused salt and olive oil on the meat. There we go. We're starting to thicken up. Now this is great on fries or veggie or on rice, or not fries. This will go good on the top of noodles, whatever kind of noodles you like, rice, white rice, long grain rice, whatever you want to pair it with as your starch. But I'm not making this today with a starch. I just want the stir fry itself. We're going to turn the heat off. Our sauce is starting to thicken up. We're going to let it go for a little bit, stir it occasionally so we don't get it burnt on the bottom. As it cools down, it's going to start to thicken. And turning the heat off and letting it finish this little bit guarantees I'm not going to overcook any of the veggies. Alright, here it is. All ready to go. Doesn't that look amazing? And top it off with a little green onion. And there you go. Alright, it's super hot, but we're going to taste it anyway. Damn, that's delicious. That is super good. Well, there you have it. Another infused dish. Stir fry. Add it to rice, noodles, whatever you want. It's definitely infused, so please be responsible. Until next time, stay sticky, my friends.